Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Universal Insider. The website is up today. It turned out, they bring it up at the stroke of midnight. And you know what? This is the first time I ever said this. I think this is going to be better than last year, definitely. Right off the bat. I love the mazes, okay? There's certain mazes that I just really think it's going to be crap. But there's other mazes that I think there's a lot of likes than dislikes. Now, unfortunately, I only have one scare zone I kind of tend to like. And that's Acid Assault. Now, that's the scare zone I think it's going to be in New York, which is going to be awesome. I kind of like the theming of that. Nevermore. I love Edgar Allan Poe. Great job. The Forsaken. Okay, that could be... I forgot what that maze is about. I just... hold on, maybe I'm still... No, I'm not on there. The Forsaken is basically... it's like a woods type of maze. It's awesome. And I like it. I liked it. That's why I put the Forsaken. Nightmaze seems like it's gonna be a kick-ass maze. It's gonna be a total black maze, and it's gonna switch around. So it's basically you will never, you'll get scared multiple times because it's gonna change. The maze is gonna change. So that's a new and improved type of thing they're doing, which I hope they do pretty well, and I hope it's not gonna be like a pure blind terror. I hope it's not gonna be like that. That's what pure blind terror, cold dark terror, or whatever that maze was, that was pitch black or terror or something, in 2004. That thing was designated to be what Nightmaze was going to be, but they didn't have time to do any of that stuff. So this Nightmaze is a new and improved type of maze they're trying out, which is going to be cool because they're going to move, it's all movable inside. So they'll move a wall in front of you. You don't know, you hit the wall and you have to go the opposite direction. But next time you go in, that wall is not there. You go in another direction. So, it'd be nice to know how they're going to do crowd control on that. That's going to be very time-consuming, actually. Now we got an HR Blood and Guts. Now that is going to be a cool maze. It's going to be in the disaster queue, and it's going to be just like a Leave It to Cleaver maze, but it's gonna be a TV show type of thing, and it's gonna be awesome. I think I like those type of mazes, and of course, Saws and Steam are coming back. Saws and Steam. Into the machine. It's gonna be pretty awesome. I think I wish they had the soundstage for that instead of the Jaws queue, but I give them credit. And the Thing. The Thing is going to be kick butt, and I'm not gonna lie, and I bet you that's gonna happen. The bad houses, I think. There's a house called the In Between, which kind of looks like you're going into a different realm. It seems to me like Disorientation. We all remember Disorientation many years ago. That maze was just so ugh. And that was the year I was not a part of that maze, so I can freely say I was not a part of that maze. So I was part of Scream House 2 with that one. Let's just say I was not a part of that maze, so thank God I was not a part of that maze. Whew. 2004. Ugh. I remember that. Disorientation. Night Maze better not be a disorientation either. I hope they're not doing, certain things for Nightmare. I hope they get this. What I'm thinking in my head, because it was on the board for a long time. It was on sheets, and it was talked about for many years about doing a maze that, there's a wall in front of you, and then there's never a wall in front of you. Next time you go in, it's just like moving around. It's all the sets in there are on wheels, and then the actors will just move that wall in. It blocks you. You have to go another way, but the wall opens up for the next group, and they go in there, and then you intertwine with each other. It's gonna be pretty cool. But it's going to be very hard to do show control in that. You know, I worry about if there's a fire inside there. You know, it's going to be kind of. I think to turn on the lights or something, or it's going. You know, I worry about the show control, but I think they can get that done. The in between, I really think. I don't know. That's going to be one of those crappy mazes. Night Blood Prey, that one, I don't know. They're talking about raging baboons or something. Usually when they stretch out raging baboons, it becomes not fun. And then Winter Night. Winter Night is another maze, which is maybe a zombie maze, but I really think it's going to be like a graveyard on a cold winter's night. The theming, I think, is going to be pretty awesome. I think this is going to be a great maze. In set design and feeling that you're in a cold winter's in a winter graveyard. So I'm not going to be bashing the sets. I really think a lot of these mazes are not. How do I say this? It's supposed to be a casino. Lady Luck. You know, they have scare zones with Lady Luck. Your luck has run out and all that stuff. And they could have done a cool backstory to a casino. But what they did was they just threw mazes in there, which, you know, I liked Edgar Allan Poe. That night maze is a new type of maze they're gonna put out. It's awesome. Mr. Blood and HR Blood and Guts. That's gonna be a good comedy. That's the comedy house. Saw in Steam. I always said it was gonna be a good attraction, a good maze. And the Thing will always be good. Anything with the Thing in there is gonna be good. Too bad Mike Roddy ain't there anymore to, you know, put that in. The in-between Night Blood Prey and Winter's Night, that's in the maybe. I was looking at that, and I put that as in the maybe, because Winter's Night is going to be a maze that will immerse you into a graveyard zombie type of thing. And they have to get the lighting, they have to get the... everything has to go hand in hand. One little mess up in that house of acting or something is going to destroy the house. Now, it's very hard to destroy zombies. Alright? So, you can't really destroy the zombies. So, zombies are good because it's a graveyard. And it's cold. They claim it's snow. Oh, Cold Blind Terror. That's what it was called. Cold Blind Terror. I remember when they were talking in Cold Blind Terror, they said there was this room. They had this huge storyline to it. There was a room and it was freezing. When I walked in there, it was lukewarm. It was a little bit hot in there, you know. It was not cold like they said the description was. So they say in this Winter's Night, a cold graveyard. Well, how I see a graveyard is a low-lying mist, and you feel the chill in the air, and then the smell of the smell of usually straw or something. Or mold, or something that, you know, something outdoorsy type of smell, not, you know, walking into a lukewarm room. Nah, that destroys a lot of things. So, Winter's Night could possibly, if lighting is not correct, if you know, the acting, you can't really mess up on zombies. You really can't mess up on zombies. Zombies are easy to do, but if you mess up on the set, what I don't like is when they parade the scare actors, you know, the actors, they parade them right in front of you, so you can see them when they're going into the maze, and they're like, yeah, or something like that. I'm just like, they should have done, like, they should have a huge black tarp, and they have to walk in a maze, and they make a maze in the back of cages with a black tarp so you can't see them. That would be a good thing. Those sound stages are big. They should have a little break area inside that maze, basically inside the whole thing, so they don't have to leave. So cast will go into their break area. You put a black tarp there, or you build a facade and you make a door in there, and no one's gonna open the door. It's gonna built right into that area, and you put a little, you put tabs down so you can't see the the structural, and see them drinking water or something. You won't see that. Problem is, they don't do that. They usually have tables out and back, and they'll parade them right in front of you, which technically that ruins the maze for me, technically speaking. So, in between, I really want to see what this maze is all about. In between is like this third world. I can't get that out of my head. It has a cool-looking, catching picture, but it seems to me it's just going to be a maze that they don't even know. It's just going to be like disorientation, probably. It's going to be a third realm. I don't know what they're doing. I'm going to go through all of them, definitely, but this year looks pretty darn good, actually. But like the main icon is kind of like, when I first saw the main icon in that little commercial, I'm like, oh. But then she transformed, and I'm like, nice. So, really, the icon is a pretty woman, but it's... Lady Luck is a pretty woman, but then she becomes a hideous monster. But problem is, the acting in the beginning was like, you knew that stuff was coming in. And then it's all about luck and casinos, and they kept on playing casino music too, and you would think they would have a casino maze. Like for the act, it's not. No, they have a whole bunch of mazes. Maybe in between is you go into the casino. Maybe that... If they, in the in-between maze, if you go into the third dimension and it's a crazy third world casino, probably that would work. Probably I'm not creative anymore, so I'm not on the creative, aspect of that Universal anymore. So I don't see any of that. It's been a while. Last time I worked there was like 2004 and 2005. And then Disney hired me, and then I was at Disney for a long time. So, anywho. Let's see what else. I really like that Acid Assault. I think that's gonna be awesome. I think they can do a lot of good stuff with that, it's gonna be like acid rain, and there's people's skins melting, so... I kind of like that stuff. On everyday situations that can actually occur, so that's awesome. Really, the rest of the things can... Edgar Allan Poe's Nevermore. I bet you that's going to be an elaborate set. I hope Nevermore's not in a sprung tent. If it's in a sprung tent, I may have to move that to the... I don't really want to do that, because I love Edgar Allan Poe. But in Nevermore, and you gotta have, like an Edgar Allan Poe, you gotta have a soundstage for those mazes. Due to the reason why you need a soundstage for an Edgar Allan Poe one, the Nevermore, is due to the reason it's the aspect of the thrill, the aspect of sets. He wrote he was a great writer, and he made you think, and you just have to expand his stories to life. Problem is, you can't do it in a sprung tent. A sprung tent, you really can't do it in. I bet you In-Between's in a sprung tent. And, Winter's Night is going to be in a sprung tent, probably. Winter's Night would be also gonna... There's a lot of good soundstage mazes. Like, these are good names, but you need them in sound stages instead of sprung tents. But, of course, they can't put them all in sound stages. They don't have enough sound stage. And, they can't, I really don't like when they double up. I hate when they double up the mazes in one sound stage. I hate when they do that. Because you can still hear, leaking of the leaking of the maze next to you, like Frankenstein and Dracula. You can hear Frankenstein in Dracula. That was a little turn-off for me. Hades last year, you heard the snakes when you were in Psychoscarapy, which, it made it sound like there was running water in the other area, so it was pretty good. I love to know how they did Dead Silence, because I think they had this own soundstage, or... I don't know how it got so quiet in Dead Silence. That was just so awesome. They did a kudos on that. I think they used a lot of sound dampening material in that. That's pretty much how I think they got things done. That's pretty much about it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm definitely going this year on the 23rd, so I'll just have to pay my bills and make sure I have enough money at the end. Probably I will. I always do. Yeah, so anywho. That's about all I have to say. This is,